I'll lay you all over, and the sweat rolls down to your shoes. Girl, I want to lick you up and down. Come on and let me do what I can do. Come on and tell me what you did. Cause I just want to taste the sweetness from your body. Let me live. Come on and let me lick you up. Come on and let me lick you down. Come on, let me lick you around. Now you will feel my fire. Let me lick you. Come on and let me lick you up. Let me lick you down. You'll be right.
All right. This is going to be interesting. Hey, shout out to O'Shea, man. O'Shea's the reason I'm making this damn video. O'Shea is does a lot of good. What's up, y'all? O'Shea brings a lot of good, interesting points. I don't agree with everything, but a lot of his points I do agree with. And come on, sub, let him live. Damn, man, can I talk first? Can I say something? Let me say this, man. I like Boyce Watkins. Actually, Boyce Watkins is one of the guys that I feel like, but I got to be fair and point out something. The Audacity of Niggadom series is not just where I sit and just tell you ain't shit. Like, I'm not finna do him like that. But I gotta call some shit out. And I don't think what I'm about to say is gonna be as surgical with this. What he say? I'm surgical with this bitch, Jake. Like, I'm gonna be real surgical. I'm not gonna do him dirty. I'm not gonna do him dirty, but he got to get some of his work though, because I see some shit going on. He has had a extensive history of doing some shit that I think is really detrimental to the community in certain instances. I think some of his commentary is good. I think it's great, actually. I think he has great commentary on a lot of different subjects. Now, of course, because I do this video and I put his name in the title, I'll never be allowed to speak at the All Black National Convention or whatever. But hey, it is what it is. And I am growing a business. So, I mean, but I'm going to call things down the middle, guys. I'm not going to just take off with his head. Y'all, give me a second. This little boy come here, stand right on my foot. Anyway, let me say this. I know, but we're gonna go outside in a minute, okay? But let me say this. This is the thing, man. So Boyce Watkins is being approved. No, you can't. No, you can't, boo. So Boyce Watkins is being accused of basically not paying somebody again. This is literally like the fifth time. Under the roof? You in the house, boo. That's what's under the roof. This is about the fifth time somebody's accused this brother of not making payments to people, not doing what he's supposed to do. And the sad part about it is this sister, she calls herself the comeback coach.
House in the roof?
Okay, boo. Yeah. Hold on. Let me go and see. Okay.
The house in the roof?
Yeah. So first, hold on, boo. Hold on.
The house in the roof?
Yeah, hold on. Let me go in there and fix your TV, okay? Give me a second. I go in there. All right.
The house in the roof?
No, you're not getting out there. So Michi X accused him first. Well, let me go back. First person I remember that he had an issue with was Breaking Brown, Ados, hashtag Ados founder.
Hey, Daddy, I'm a father.
Or, yeah. But the hashtag Ados sister, Yvette Carnell, right? And Yvette Carnell, some of the reasons that she had a problem with, son, you're going to have to stop now, okay?
Daddy, I was father.
Say what?
I was father.
Yeah.
You
So
were far in the roof?
The first thing.
Hey, you were far in the roof?
Yes. So the first thing is, man, he first was being under attack with Sister Yvette Carnell. Yvette Carnell came at him. Yvette Carnell came at him firstly saying that he wasn't making payments to her. He owed her money. You know, and I kind of brushed that under the rug. I was like, maybe he does. I'm not saying he doesn't. You know, it wasn't a large amount of money. Then he had the other sister, Michi X. Michi X went at it. And Michi X said he owed her money. He wasn't making payments. This is the second time. I kind of looked at him with the side eye with that one, like, okay, brother, this is becoming a pattern now. Then Paris Milan came out. Paris Milan said he wasn't making payments. That's 3, right? Then he goes
Daddy,
and he gets into a situation
Daddy, can
with
I go downstairs?
yeah, hold on, boo. This sister right here, Dolores May Jones TV. Go type her up. Dolores, Delores May, Mae Jones TV. No, son, no, not right now, okay? Give me a second.
Hold me, I'm tired.
Well, you ain't tired. Nothing wrong with you, huh? I'll hold you. But anyway, Dolores May Jones TV was a situation where I felt like it was one of them situations where I was like, okay, well, this is kind of became a pattern where I don't think you can just explain away. So this brother has shown a track record of not giving people money. He's shown a track record of blocking people when they reach out to him for the money. And then because he talks about finances in the black community, which a lot of people know is probably the most pressing issue facing the black community right now, and because he has a finance degree, he gets a pass. He's kind of like, dare I say, Umar Johnson, not as egotistical as Umar Johnson. I think Umar Johnson's ego puts him in a precarious situation because a lot of times Umar Johnson,
Daddy,
and I can make
what's
1,000
in there?
videos about him.
Daddy, what's in there?
I don't know, Boots, because Umar Johnson has had a few videos where he's basically
Hey, what's in the roof?
nothing, Boots. Well, he's had a few videos where he's kind of like, he just had a video where he put himself on some list. He said he was
What's
the
in the roof?
top
Just
25
nothing?
Pan-Africans ever.
Daddy,
He put
what's
himself
in
on the
roof?
list.
Just nothing?
And,
What's
O'Shea
in
made
the
a video
roof?
basically
Just
saying he
nothing?
disagreed with it.
The
Yes.
roof.
A few of the people that are on the list are lecturers them damn self. Their
Can I
damn selves.
open the
They're just
roof?
educators and lecturers. They
Can I
never built
open the
anything.
roof?
Okay, boo. No, you can't. So I mean, I know I can't say the names of these people because if I were to ever say the names of these people, yeah, he being sued. A lot of people don't want to hear it because if you say the names of these people, it's almost blasphemous to say that these guys never really built anything. A couple of these guys that are on his list never even had a doctorate, but we call them Dr. So-and-so, so-and-so. So that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the issue I have with it. I think this brother has shown a track record of not paying people their damn money, which is the whole, excuse me, the whole gist of this issue I have with it is people don't really know it, but I just think, man, Boyce Watkins is probably following the pattern of a lot of black. Stop, leave that alone. A lot of black people that don't give people their damn money, like Birdman. He's the Birdman of YouTube.
Yeah, we don't.
I mean, he is. He's showing a track record of that.
We don't.
Anytime he gets around people and he owe them money, it's gonna be some bullshit as to why he don't get him their damn money. This has happened to a lot of female YouTubers, and I'm not caping for them because Lord knows I can't stand what Paris Milan talks about. She's very anti-black male, which is anti-black community. She doesn't believe, she's not community minded, so I don't fuck with her. But I do agree that he should have gave that girl her money, even though with Paris it was just like $200 or some shit. I don't give a fuck if it's $1. If you owe somebody some money, give them their money. And he said, well, I gave you exposure. Now, what with Michi X, it wasn't money. Now I'm starting to remember. With Michi X, actually what he did was he bought her damn domain. Michi X, he bought all the shit. He buys up all the, if you come on his platform and you agree to come on his platform, he's going to buy all of your domains so that you can't get exposure to his platform and grow. That's what he does. So if you got some shit, say you got some shit called Breaking Purple. You go on his shit, he's going to buy breakingpurple.com. You get exposed, you grow from 400 to 20,000 people, and you try to go out and break away because y'all got into it. He owns the domain and he doesn't want to sell it to you. That's some foul shit he doing. I'm sorry. I'm going to call that shit out. That's foul. And he's done that to a few people. He did that to Michi X. And technically, he's done it to Vicky Dillard from what they're saying. They're saying there's evidence that he's done it to her. So anybody that comes in within contact of this brother winds up getting the short end of the stick. That is like some old carpetbagger shit he doing. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. And that's what he's doing. He's acting real bad. Like, black people aren't in a position Black people are not in a position to be out here getting shitted on like that. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I feel like right now. He's in a position, he's in a power position because let's be honest, there aren't many black people in that space. And Boyce has, and see, let me say this too. Let me say this. Understand now what Boyce has done. So what I think he did, and I give him credit for this, he was smart enough earlier on to hire experts in this space to market his platform. That's how he grew his platform. It wasn't organic. I thought his growth was organic. It wasn't. Boyce Watkins hired, remember the Asian guy came out and said, we sell them this fake dream of black economic empowerment, like he did it in air quotes, like the shit was some shit you'll never get. And he got exposed for that shit. And I was like, damn, okay, so he hired an Asian guy. And it was just us getting a glimpse into the, behind the backdrop of what we see and I'm not gonna call it a facade because I honestly think he does mean well. I think he means what he says. And I think a lot of the stuff he says about finances and stuff, I think you should take the advice. We can agree. But the way he handles business with people I'm sorry, it's starting to come up under a lot of scrutiny. You saying he a fraud? I can't argue with that statement. I really can't. I wanted something. There's part of me that says, you know what? DeVita is saying the brother's a fraud. I don't want to say the brother a fraud, but shit, I can't defend him either. You know what I'm saying? It's just like Umar Johnson. I can't defend Umar Johnson. I can say, yeah, man, Umar Johnson is this, Umar Johnson is that. When you say certain things about Umar Johnson, that shit is indefensible. I'm not gonna be able to defend a brother who calls himself the prince of Pan-Africanism. And is arrogant as fucking. I hear fucking strippers talking about he's celibate. And I'm like, shit, if you're gonna run a school and I send my son to your school, is he gonna come out trying to fuck all the damn school teachers? Because I know that's what you're gonna do. Send your resume to me, sister. You single mom church, send your resume. Let me get your phone number. Let me tell him like I ain't gonna tell this nigga trying to fuck. This nigga ain't trying to empower our sons, So I was like, oh hell no. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what you're talking about, Herbert. I started watching Boyce when the platform went full Bitcoin. He follows market trends, no real business savvy outside of YouTube marketing. Let me say this right here about Bitcoin. I'm not a big proponent of. I'm not like just 100% anti-Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin may be a way a way to some wealth, man. I'm dead serious. I mean, you go back 3 years, guys. I could share my screen and show you the market capitalization of Bitcoin over the last 4 years. Let's just do 3 years back. Let me go to Coin Market Cap right quick. I could show you like this shit. But when he said that, Bitcoin went from like $400 to $1,000 to $20,000 in all of them in the space of like maybe a 6-month period. Shit, I don't blame him. Right now, Bitcoin is sitting at $6,600.54, $6,654.06. That's what one Bitcoin costs right now. Guys, you got to understand. I remember when Bitcoin, so I'm probably not the best person to ask. I remember when the shit was, $100. I remember. And had I took $1,000 and bought it, it would be right now worth at least 60 and have been up and fluctuating anywhere from $55,000 to $60,000 to a quarter of $200,000. So I don't knock Bitcoin, and a lot of people get on the Boyce. I'm gonna be fair. I'm not gonna just shit on Boyce like that. I'm not just 100%. He was promoted, but yeah, I don't think he knew about BitConnect. Nobody knew. Shit, I promoted BitConnect. I didn't know that shit was gonna be a scam. It was my first time getting into this space, and the business model did make sense. It's just the percentages paying out was damn near ridiculous. But you could pay out some money. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna show y'all a good place, a company to go fuck with right now. Name of this company. There it is, right there. I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna show it to you. So I'm gonna show y'all this company. I'm not trying to defend Boyce, but I'm gonna be fair. I'm not gonna 100% destroy the brother. So he was talking about BitConnect, right? You can go to Genesis Mining right now, right? You can go here, and you can get a 2-year contract to mine Bitcoin. And every day, I actually spoke with this brother. He lives overseas in Europe. Every day, he will give you payouts every day. And you can literally turn a profit. These are 2-year contracts, 24 months. Not will you make your money back? Who knows? Well, the price of Bitcoin is $6,000. The way shit is going, Bitcoin is holding strong, which is good. Bitcoin is not going down. It doesn't have an inverse position with the dollar, but if and when it does, just like silver, people say silver's not a good investment. Wait till the dollar crash completely, and it's over for America completely. Which right now that may not seem like a far-fetched thing to say. So I'm not trying to get off on a tangent, but that was what I wanted to say. I'm not saying that cryptocurrencies is just over. I think that story, that chapter, still being written. So yeah, I mean, just say you don't know. I get it, but I'm not an anti-Bitcoin person. I'm not against cryptocurrency. So I think he was right to say that. My thing with Boyce is, for one, I do think he's a prisoner of the moment. I do. I think, and the thing is, in his position, I don't think he needs to do that. I don't think he needs to follow every trend. I don't think you need to make videos about Cardi B. Stick to finances. That's what you don't hear. Ramsey, who's, let's look at Dave Ramsey's business model. What was why is Dave Ramsey Dave Ramsey? Huh? What did Dave Ramsey do for 25, 30 years that made people billionaires? See, look, as much as I respect Boyce, and I do respect him, I'm not going to just throw him under the bus. I don't put him in the same category as a Umar Johnson. I don't, but he's kind of getting in that space with his character, not necessarily his knowledge. And because finances are important, he has a special place in my mind and respect for me. But I'm going to say this. The reason Dave Ramsey is Dave Ramsey is because Dave Ramsey espoused certain economic principles, and we saw people live them out over the years and were able to get out of debt. And that's what he stuck to. And he stuck to it. He didn't waver. Dave Ramsey didn't become a shock jock, because that's technically what he's become, is a caricature of a guy who does shock videos, that does videos because it's the hot thing to talk about. Dave Ramsey strictly deals with finances. He takes calls and he talks about economic empowerment. And he has a course just like Dave Ramsey, Financial Peace University. He has, whatever, I forget the name of his stuff, right? He does conferences just like Dave Ramsey, right? But the difference is not just that Dave Ramsey's white, because he got Chris Hogan. And if you go look at Chris Hogan, and a lot of y'all may not know who that is, I'm going to go ahead and share that in this. Let me go to that brother's channel. Basically, Chris Hogan is this brother he's kind of being discipled, if you will, by Dave Ramsey. And this guy right here, I'm going to show, he wrote a book about being a millionaire. It's people in this space that's coming for his ass. And this dude right here is the leapfrog them. This is a black guy. You know what I'm saying? Right here, Chris Hogan. This brother right here talks about finances and money. And this is what I feel like the space that that he could really kind of dominate. Now, he deals with everybody, white, black, whoever. You know what I'm saying? I think he's an evangelical Christian black guy. But still, this is a black guy. How many subscribers does he have? 146,000 subscribers. You know what I'm saying? Now, he black. Obviously, white people don't want to hear shit from a black man about money most of the time. But this guy, you're right. I agree with you, Herb. That's what I feel. I feel like Chris Hogan is way more even-tempered. He's going to outpace Dave. Probably. This guy just got started. I just heard about this guy within the last year or two. He's already got 140,000 subscribers. Dave Ramsey has millions, but Dave Ramsey been doing this shit for 30, 40 years. Dude, I actually talked to Dave Ramsey way back in like 2001 when he came to Alabama, Montgomery, and did a live discussion. Dave Ramsey has conferences where he charges $5,000 to go to. And people are paying it. Business owners, entrepreneurs are paying that money. He knows his stuff hands down. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So you still got people like, look at Ray Gun saying he just heard of him. That's what I'm talking about. This space is there's such a market in the black community for that shit that Boyce is fucking up. He's fucking up a major opportunity. He could be like this. And I think Boyce might have more subscribers than he has. But I guarantee you, this dude here, first of all, we know this dude is already a millionaire. Number one. Number two, he did it espousing the principles that he taught. Number three, he can show you, he has callers call his stuff. And they say, hey, I'm a millionaire now because I followed your rules, your steps. Let me show you. This dude has led people out of the trenches of and showing people they can be rich, man. Everyday millionaires. See what I'm saying?
Exactly where I'm headed right now. I've got Todd on the line calling in from the Twin Cities. Todd, how are you today?
I'm very well, Chris.
Plus, he got that voice, man. That voice is that's $1 million voice.
It's a pleasure to speak with you today.
Well, thank you, my friend, and I appreciate you taking the time to call in. I understand you have made some money errors in life.
Yeah, I have. It's fortunately, I'm beyond that, but it wasn't a pleasant time.
Yeah.
So, my wife and I, we were living on the East Coast, and we were expecting our.
I'm going to deal with this in a second. I'm going to leave that right there. I'm going to deal with that comment.
First child. She was about 8.
Boyce, let me go ahead and say it, and I'm going to keep it going. I agree with you, Steve. I agree with you 1,000%. Is we have to get our shit together. And I have videos about, I provide videos on different subjects. I had a video last night. I had 6 people watching. Now, I know YouTube is throttling my channel. I know they are. I have no doubt in my mind that they're throttling my channel. They're doing a lot of shit to my channel. But at the same time, ever since I gotten strikes, I'll be good to get. The only time I got over 100 people on my channel watching one time was when I first came back after a few weeks. And I got a lot of people watching when I had a suspension. Other than that, my videos are struggle. Right now, I got a lot of people. This is a lot of people, relatively speaking. So, you got to deal with that. You got to deal with YouTube. So a lot of people don't want to watch shit that's empowering. I agree, but he has the base, man. There's enough black people, and if you get results, your shit will grow like this.
Pregnant.
These people get results. Watch this.
And I was offered a job back in the Twin Cities, and I really wanted to be in the Twin Cities since I was in high school.
Okay.
So when my wife was about 9 months pregnant, I flew out, spent 24 hours looking at 24 houses because I thought I've got to be able to put a roof over our head. Bought a house in less than a week, and then flying back to my wife, came across this podcast thing by a guy named Dave Ramsey, and thought, well, I'm a captive audience on the plane here. I might as well take a listen to this.
Okay.
And this was in 2006 when real estate was starting to sell kind of slowly, but it didn't make its way to the Midwest. Anyways, it took about an extra 6 months after we purchased our house in Minnesota before we were able to sell our house in New England. And so in order to cover that, we had 3 mortgages, a newborn, and our salary had been cut by about 40%.
Goodness gracious, Todd.
Yes.
I mean,
yep.
you at this point in time have got to be feeling financial stress like on another level.
I would not wish that summer on my worst enemy. It was not a fun summer, but we got through it. I started listening to Dave Ramsey. I had an opportunity to walk to work and starting to hear his message and his story, and thought, man,
you got to understand, this is a black man who is sitting under the tutelage of a rich white guy who's been doing this shit since the 70s. There's another young black brother.
Daddy,
Yes, boo. There's another.
I want to go downstairs.
All right, Book, hold on. There's another young black brother that is under this guy as well. And he's doing it, man. They got 3 or 4 black personalities under Dave Ramsey, this guy right here. And they doing it, man. They about to take the game over because they getting results. I think that Boyce Watkins can be major if he gets results and don't just talk that shit. See, the reason a lot of people stop fucking with him is, number one,
Daddy,
you are right.
I'm hungry.
Okay, well, you done ate. I've been feeding you all morning now. Don't get me on TV and on YouTube and embarrass me. Anyway, a lot of stuff. Stop, boy, you gonna fall. So so anyway. So let me let this keep playing and get him together. Go ahead. Give me 1 second.
Yes.
We sacrificed way too much. We've gone to school for too long, got good jobs in areas that interest us to be this broke. So my wife ended up going back to work. We doubled our salary, and we started living off of one income. We started paying off all of our debts.
Wow.
One by one. And as of today, we're at Dave's baby step number 7.
Now, hold on a second. You just fast forwarded. You all cleaned up a whole lot of stuff. I mean, you got after it. You did. I mean, and how long did this take you?
Oh, about 7 years.
Wow. I mean,
we had a really big shovel.
Yes, you did. And did your wife go back to work solely for the cleanup? I mean, this was to attack debt, or what was her motivation?
My wife grew up in Eastern Europe. She grew up in Poland, and she learned that you got to work.
Yes.
And so moved to a new city. She didn't have family around her, didn't have a huge network of friends. So she thought, I'm going back to what I know how to do. So she started working part-time in a bakery. She's got a couple of college degrees and worked her way up to the corporate level of a local company in the Twin Cities. And so now she works at the corporate headquarters, doing technical design work for them.
Wow.
So she's just worked her way and worked really, really hard.
Yes.
All right, guys. So I'm back. Let me say this, man. I wanted you guys to hear most of this. You got to listen to the whole thing. This is the point I want to make. Boyce Watkins has kind of painted himself in a corner because he's created a lot of, I guess, I ain't gonna say hatred, but people just don't respect him a lot like they used to, because he's kind of went into this whole shock jock phase on his channel where he with a lot of different subjects, a lot of frivolous bullshit that he really needs to stay away from. And that's number one. Secondly, your character. When you talk about business and shit, when you're doing business with black folks, one of the biggest things you got to do is try to have integrity with people. You got to be a man of your word. You got to stick to what you say, even if it costs you, because your word is valuable, especially in this space with black people. Especially in this space. I've been dealing with black people for 2 years now. If I was shitting on black people and taking their money and wasn't doing what the fuck I said I was going to do you understand there would be a million videos talking about Sub-Zero 3639 ain't shit. He lying. He this, he that. He doesn't promise. He doesn't show up. He's not teaching. He's not this. He's over exaggerating. No. The reason I can come on this thing and hold my head because I do what the fuck I say I'm gonna do. And Boyce, when you're doing business, especially the reason I made this video, because when it comes to this particular subject about economics, people like him, people like Umar Johnson are major problems, because literally 50% of the shit they saying is necessary and good and right. And that is what makes the shit most dangerous. Because if I take some water and I take a drop of cyanide and drop it in there and poison you, you'll drink it if you're thirsty and you've been in the desert. That's what's going on with Boyce Watkins. And I think Boyce can turn it around. I don't think he's irredeemable, or whatever. I think he can be changed, but I just think that a fair assessment of this brother right now is his character has caused a lot of issues. And you can't shit on people in private. People will talk. Yeah, these people got 300, like the sister, what's her name? Dolores May Jones or whatever. That sister only got like 385 subscribers. She can't even go live yet, technically. But that sister, like, people, word is getting out. O'Shea said something. I'm going to use my platform to say something. You got to stop this shit, man. You got to stop it. And you got to make things right with people, brother. Because you hold a position in this community of respect. Because for one, you're educated. You have your doctorate. You talk about financial shit that's important. Most of us, you've aligned yourself with Dr. Claude Anderson, who, heaven forbid, if something happened to him, we got this pandemic out here. You see what I'm saying? So we don't really have anybody in this space for real. And the guys we have in this space, like Chris Hogan, technically he doesn't have a pro-black person. I'm gonna go out on a limb. I think he's pro-money. I think he'll help you. And I think I can work with a brother like Chris Hogan. But truth be told, I don't think Chris Hogan has a pro-black perspective. He's one of them brothers probably say some shit like I don't see color. One of them type. So there aren't that many brothers in this space that have that mentality. You get what I'm saying? So I just want y'all to see, man, you can't be out here on that shit, man, kind of way in business, man. That shit come back to hunt you. No black person should mess with him at this point. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say no black person, but I do think he's had a problem, a major problem with his character. Guys, I'm gonna tell you something. I probably need to do a series on character. Because that's really the biggest problem that we have. Like the brother that took that $100 out my account. And they hit me for $30 on my talking about some damn overdraft fee or some shit like that. Let me say something. That brother went to the bank and looked them folks in the face and lied. He bought my course, right? Got in my shit, got some proprietary pre-recorded information. I spoke with him on the phone. I told him I was gonna hold him by the hand and walk him through. He got in and saw listened to my interviews, all that shit, and then gonna go to the bank and say, "Oh, this is an erroneous charge. I didn't do this. I didn't authorize this charge." Because you'd rather steal money from the bank and take that money back. And maybe you hurting for money. I would have rather you call me, which I ain't just saying I'm gonna just come up off a lot of money like that. But still, I'd rather you either call me and say, "Hey, brother, I'm gonna have to get the money back from the bank. I still want to take the course. Right now I'm hurting financially, and I'd have been cool and probably would have took the hit and it wouldn't have been nothing. But for me to call you, text you, you don't answer the phone, you don't do that shit that's a lack of character. That's a lack of you holding your word. And I gave you the shit at a discount. You see what I'm saying? And I'm working with you, trying to work with you on your budget and shit like that. You didn't voluntarily jump out of my group. You stayed your ass in there. And had I not noticed that you hit me for that money, you would have just stayed in there and took my shit for free. And you got your money back. That's niggas. See what I'm saying? That's how we do. Character. That's a lack of character. We lack character. You know what I'm saying? As a people, I think I see that when people say black people lack character, I get angry because what they're saying is you're not a good person. Black people don't have good hearts. They're not good people. They steal from you. When they turn their back, they'll get over on you. And that's really what they're saying when they say you lack character. And when you see people like Boyce Watkins who are in business, who are treating people like this, like shit, and this shit comes back to haunt you. Like, I'm sorry, I reached out to Kevin Samuels when we got into it. I sent that brother 2 or 3. Hey, brother, I don't want to go through this, man. This is Sub-Zero. Let's work through it, brother. You ignored me. You insulted me. You told me to get off your channel. You see what I'm saying? I asked you for a refund. I said, hey, brother, just issue the refund. I'm not trying to file a dispute. But I see you hang on a Saturday night, hang out talking instead of sending me my money. And then Sunday you sending me these long, all cap emails and shit like that, being disrespectful, talking to me, insulting me, talking to me crazy. Then you go live and call me a loser and say you guys need to hunt weak ass motherfuckers like this out. You need to hunt their ass down. When shit like that happens, I get tired of that shit. So I have to say something. A lot of times when black people go into getting shitted on, or we shit on people, and it is hard to be and exist in this space. I see why a lot of people say. I had a homeboy of mine. I was down in Florida when I took my son to Disney World, and I had a homeboy of mine tell me. He said, "Man, you really don't need to work." He said, "Man, don't market to black people. Trust me." Now, this is a guy who don't even think he got his own. I don't know if he runs his own business. I don't think he probably ever has. But he's an employee guy. But I took that advice, and it's hard for me to turn it down because I'm like, shit. Why do I need to go out? Why can't you? Okay, I'm gonna get him. Go back in there. Go back to nap. Go take your nap. I get you. I get him. Yeah. So it's just hard to really kind of go after black people and try to. Yes, later. Go back in there. It's hard to go back and look out for black people because at the end of the day, they either they're unappreciative or they'll attack you and do some shit to you. You know, I remember my first student I had a job. Just to show you the character of us as black people. I charged $400, right? This is my first class. I had about 8 students. I taught that first class. They finished the class. I came back, taught the second class. I had another brother that came in that was Mark, Lima, Drew, about 4 or 5 other people that came in that second class, right? I sat there and taught everybody this second time for about 3.5 months. I got finished around October, right? They interviewed with me. They all were able to get out and start getting jobs. But nobody at the time had gotten a job. And I had a brother that took both my classes. The first class, I didn't charge him for the second class now. I only charged him $400. I sat and taught this brother twice for months. So technically he got about 6-7 months of just training from me for $400 fucking dollars. Literally 10 hours a week. Okay. And he was asking questions. Every time I made a mistake, I noticed he would laugh, or if I forget something or make a mistake, he would go out his way to giggle and laugh and, try to, you're not doing this. You're not doing, he's one of them. So he's real antagonistic the whole time. And my homeboy sent me an email where he was sending emails behind my back. I didn't say shit. Right. Because he was like, man, you got to kick this nigga out. He going to be problematic. He might try to fuck you over later. I said, no, man, I'm going to go ahead and finish what I'm teaching him. And then I'm going to keep it moving, right? So long story short, that happens, right? And then we decide to say, I said, you know what, man, let me just go ahead and get this brother out of my program. But no, I finished. Actually, I didn't. I finished it. I finished teaching him. And then what happened after that, he was trying to petition the other students to sue me. He said, we ought to sue this brother. Not take in mind, it wasn't number $400. You're going to pay a lawyer $500-$600 just to sue me. Right? But that's all he technically lost. But he was trying to get all the students to get with him so they could get way more money from me. Right? And he's going to try to get a lawyer. And he said, this is a scam. Nobody's gotten a job. This shit does not work. Let's sue sub. This is what he said in writing. Right? And they had a Google Hangout. He was typing in the chat. Right? And the students was cussing him out like, man, this man done worked out here to 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. This is what I mean about character. This dude sat there and watched me bust my motherfucking ass. Right? And what, on that being said, he had not learned what he was supposed to learn. He couldn't even pass my interview process. But he was upset because although he hadn't done the work, he said nobody got a job. Well, technically, the only people that had been passing my interview process was like 3 or 4 people. The first person to get a job got a job literally the day that I saw him typing in that chat. That brother called me and said, hey, man, they called me in for an interview. I think I might get this job. I said, yeah, you finna get the job. Go in there and talk to him. So before I could get off work, because I'm fire mad at what I'm seeing this brother typing in my chat, in the Google Hangout, I get off work. The other brother calls me, hey, man, I got the job. I did it. I said, hey, man, congratulations, So this was just God showing me that, hey, you're doing the right thing. Keep doing what you're doing. So long story short, I get in the chat. I tell the brother, look, man, so-and-so Mark just got a job. Stop coming in here trying to do this, do that. Obviously, it works if he got a job. By the way, he came in here 3 months after you got exposed to this shit and he got a job. So that's just show you lazy. He kept cussing. Fuck you. Da-da-da-da. You ain't shit. I mean, he was talking real. Now, I taught this dude 7 months for $400 fucking dollars, right? Literally, the next day, I'm teaching class because it was another class I had started, right? Like in December. I'm teaching class. He literally comes in that same chat and says, I'm going to call the company that hired Mark and tell them you guys are faking on his resume and lying and get him fired. This is character. That's fuck you. I didn't get a job. I'm going to blow this whole thing up because I want what I want. That's the type of shit that black people would not. Is that every black person? No, son, go in the room. I told you to go in the room. Huh, here you go. Eat this. There you go. Bye. Going in the room. I'll be in a minute. And so this is the type of shit that you got to deal with black people. And my homeboy told me, he said, man, I told you that dude, man, you should have got rid of him. This dude threatened to sue. He kept talking about he going to sue me. Then he started saying he's a full stack developer. This is the type of shit that you deal. Now, this dude sat there and saw me working to 10, 12 o'clock at night on work nights a lot of times. Off times, neglecting my son, doing what I had to do to try to, I'm not neglecting my son, but you know what I'm saying? I would be up there teaching at 10:30, 11 o'clock, answering his questions. So I'm teaching 2.5, 3 hours a night sometime with him, answering his questions. and he didn't do his part, and he wanted to blame me. So when I say the reason I'm doing this series is because maybe this series needs to probably talk about the character of black people. These little few thousands of dollars that Boyce Watkins hasn't paid these women has cost him his reputation. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. Let me tell you something, guys. When you're in business, it's best to give people their money, man. It's best. Even if you losing money, pay people. I know you like, man, you crazy. I ain't doing that. Oh, damn, I gotta protect myself. That's why Birdman has the reputation he has. That's why nobody wants to sign with Young Money, Cash Money right now. They're in shambles right now. You got three of the biggest rappers in the last 10 years. You got the three biggest rappers in the last 10 years on your label. And you ain't done shit you ain't looking out for them. You got Lil Wayne, you got Drake, and you got Nicki Minaj, and nobody wants to sign with you because of your reputation, because you shit on people. You see what I'm saying? That's what's happening to Boyce. And I want this to be a cautionary. I want to try to admonish the brother, not necessarily because I think he has a lot of redeeming qualities and salvageable things, and maybe he could turn it around. But right now, this is like the fifth, sixth time we done heard that you either screwing people over on money, or you're going behind people's backs and doing some underhanded bullshit like buying their domain names and shit, so that they can never grow their own and get their own platform. So you got a big platform, you bring them into the platform, but you want to keep them beneath you by buying up their own domain names and shit. That's foul. That's foul as hell, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just saying, I just think, man, we need to really, as black people, when you go into business, everybody that watches this video, or even everybody that's listening, when you go into business, guys, have integrity. Live a life of integrity. Let your word mean what you say. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Make sure that you value and respect your reputation. I can leave YouTube right now, quit doing classes, and ain't none of my students gonna say that I ain't getting what the fuck I promised them. After I teach this next class, obviously. I got one more class I'm teaching right now. If I say, all right, that's it, I'm through. None of them gonna say I didn't bust my ass, and none of them can say that I was full of shit because they saw their own people in their group that was in there with them get jobs. So that tells you that this shit is real. If you do what you're told. You know what I'm saying? Not on some bullshit, but just if you listen to what I'm telling you. And so that's the thing, man. Like this guy, Boyce, it bothers me. And I do think Chris Hogan and people like him, there's a vacuum in this space right now for black people. I don't even think Glendon Cameron goes after black people like that. I think he's kind of like anybody that any comment. First come, first serve. But we need people. Boyce had a good lane about right before he got involved with Yvette Carnell. He had a great lane where his name was, he had a good name. He didn't have no dirt on his name, right? Even after Yvette Carnell, nobody really thought he was on some underhanded shit. It wasn't until I think I would probably say the whole situation with Paris Malone where it started looking suspect. You know what I'm saying? And then people, let me see what y'all saying up in here. Says Boyce is probably too arrogant to listen. He would probably make a video response to yours. I'm too small. He ain't gonna say shit to me. I'd be shocked if he say a damn thing to me. He ain't gonna say nothing to me. When he sees you, he is going to scratch you on your face and spray paint bully on your car. Oh shit. Now I don't think Boyce cut like that. He ain't cut like that. Yeah, Boyce disappointed a lot of people. Boyce, Birdman messes his reputation in the industry. That's why Lil Wayne not putting out any records because exactly. And Lil Wayne just dropped the album, but man, you talking about, man, you on the Forbes list. I shouldn't have to pay you 54. That ain't got shit to do with it. I don't give a fuck if I'm a billionaire. Do you owe me 54 million? All the contracts were I watched the video. All the contracts were well documented. Lil Wayne had Young Money, Cash Money, and signed Drake and Nicki Minaj, and both of them blew. You owe this dude money. You didn't pay him nothing from none of them people. So he owed that boy like majorly. He raped that dude, man. Raped him. Straight up. He raped him. You know, I know that some people have distanced themselves publicly from Boyce in the pro-black space. Guys, the pro-black space is in shambles, to be completely honest with you. I'm going to tell you the truth. The pro-black space is in shambles right now. I mean, if you really want to look at it, most of the pro-blacks I know, a couple of them, few people that really call themselves pro-blacks, they shit so damn crazy, man. Some of the shit, the way they handle themselves in a discussion. I just made a video about that the other day when I was on Taz channel and all that shit happened. And he called me a damn weirdo and shit, like, and started screaming and cussing. He a pro-black. When you got people like that that's in your space that you can't have logical discussions with and really get to the bottom of issues without them quickly exploding, coon. Like I can't have a discussion with a person like that. And so those are the leaders, those are the people of your movement that lead your movement. You know what I'm saying? Then it's a problem. And I'm not shitting on that brother because Taz has a lot of good points. I'm not saying he's wrong. But if he hears this, he's gonna probably make a response video and call me a fuckboy and call me whatever, and I'm a fuck nigga. And when he see me, he gonna fuck me up and all that shit. We can't move ahead. We can't go ahead as a people like that. That street shit is only gonna take you so far. See what I'm saying? And so when you got pro-blacks that want to align themselves with the streets and not call out people like, drug dealers and thugs and gang members, that shit fucks our communities up. When you got people like Tariq Nasheed that don't want to call that shit out and would rather align themselves with pimps and hustlers and shit and call those people the real warrior class, those are the real warriors. You can't really take that shit serious when you'll turn a blind eye to motherfuckers selling drugs. When you'll turn a blind eye to motherfuckers wearing their pants off their ass and doing dumb shit in these government programs and want to blame everything's racism, white supremacy. That's what makes the whole pro-black argument, and I consider myself pro-black, but that's what makes that whole pro-black community a joke. You got to call every fucking thing out, not just half of that shit. Half these pro-blacks knew Africa Bambaataa was out here sucking dicks. They knew. Back in the 80s and 90s, they knew Africa Bambaataa was a child molester. Everybody that's talking that shit right now about, look, I'm not a big fan of Miko work. Well, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of all that SYSBM shit, none of that. Everybody that knew and fucked with Africa Bambaataa that shouted him out knew, a lot of them come to find out knew he was sucking dicks, sucking these little boys' dicks and shit like that. Where's the hatred towards them that you giving towards these SYSBM brothers? Because I will make the case that, and this is me, I'm fair. I'll make the case that some of those rappers didn't know. But a lot of them really did come to find out and didn't say shit. For 20, 30, 40 years, didn't say a damn thing. That is a much more egregious problem than brothers who heard hearsay on a brother but didn't know if it was true or not. We have people that have firsthand KRS-One. We got people that we look up to and respect who knew back then, for real new people, friends that were there. I heard some of them he messed with some of them. That man a child molester. And if it wasn't for, Star calling this dude out a while ago and the people like him really making videos going into that shit, we would have never knew. This is right. This is what we call righteousness and consciousness. See, when you start talking about spirituality, you're talking about righteousness. Whatever your system is, you're still talking about righteousness, being in right standing. And if you're not in right standing, that's a problem. You can't be in right standing pushing dope. You can't. I'm sorry. You can't be in right standing with motherfuckers out here treating black women like shit and you condone that shit, and pimps and prostitutes. That shit ain't no. Selling drugs, that shit, no. That can't be a part of pro-blackness. The Black Panthers were against that shit when they first started. They were against it. That was a problem, against drugs and shit like that. They was against selling drugs in the community. And then we, when Huey and all of them got taken down by the feds and thrown on drugs, I think on purpose. I think they put them on drugs on purpose. I don't think it's happenstance that all these legendary Black Panthers got put on drugs. That was part of they had operatives to do that shit. No way. Afeni Shakur, all them wound. Nah, that shit just, something about that don't even make sense. That a lot of them wound up on drugs. That was done on purpose to destabilize the movement. I just think that's what happened, man. I think we really kind of, when it comes to black people in leadership, when it comes to black people in business, a lot of times character. Yep, I know. But I see people, look, I'm not saying that they shouldn't call out certain instances, but I will come to the defense And y'all know I don't rock with that SYS save yourself black man mentality. But I'm not finna accuse every young black brother that goes overseas to be co-signing a fucking pedophile. Like that's just egregious, which is what that dude Kim 123 is doing. That's foul as hell. You don't do no shit like that. All of these brothers didn't know that this brother was a pedophile. And if I hear right now, I'm not gonna repeat some shit I've heard people say about certain YouTubers, but just because I heard somebody say some shit about one or two YouTubers doesn't mean I'm finna go ahead and act like, because basically it's almost like, okay, so you got to go and whoop Miko Worldwide's ass, or you got to turn him into the cops without any evidence, without knowing if the shit is true. That's unfair. But when it comes to Africa Bambaataa, we had a lot of evidence, lots of witnesses for 20, 30, 40 fucking years. We talking about since I was in the first grade. People knew. This dude has a catalog of boys' dicks, little boys' dicks in a big catalog. And this shit is, and you ask any rapper out of New York, almost all of them, from the golden age on up, they all knew this shit. And they still was shouting this dude out. This goes out to the Zulu Nation. This everybody I used to listen to, that I looked up to. You see what I'm saying? That's character. That's a character flaw. That's a problem. You see what I'm saying? That is a problem. You know what I'm saying? Did to a black band. Yeah. Yeah. I can't even rock with. I can't. You got a point there, brother. You got a point with that statement. I just think. Look, man. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna answer this right here. You know why I don't shit on them brothers for going overseas? I played ball overseas. I dated women overseas. I dated a woman that worked at a place that was like a Game Works, like a restaurant. I dated a woman that worked at a place called Anthony's at Mega Central. I dated a woman that worked at Jumbo's, like the store over there. I dated a woman that worked at Amelia. She worked in the massage here. What was it? Basilia, Maria, Stephanie. These are Dominican women. None of these was prostitutes. I went over there, but just because I went over there, that brother would call me a prostitute, would call me a trick, would say I'm buying pussy. Then you say we're doing dysfunctional. I didn't do shit to them women. I mean, we fucked, but that was about it. I mean, you can't, and that was, that was it. I mean, it was a situation, it was a consensual, we dated, and I went over there 10 times. These were different times over a 3-4 year period. You know what I'm saying? Where I was going over there. When I played in Brazil, when I played ball over there, I had chicks over there. That whole time, what I'm saying is this, man. I had women in Africa that I was talking at, in Ethiopia. 2 bad cold ones I had. I dated a one, I didn't do nothing to them women. I didn't do nothing to them. So I can't co-sign every brother that goes over there buys pussy. A lot of them do. A lot of them can't get women over here, and they're using the fact that they're American to be more appealing to women over there. If they're going over there and they dating those women and they doing, I don't really give a shit. I don't think that's dysfunctional just to go over there and date and spend time. Now, if you go there doing pump and dump and all that shit, I see why the brother Kim 123 is upset. If you're going to doing pump and dump and shit like that, it is what it is. But you got 80% out of wedlock births in these countries already, not including us. I don't think that's, so that shit on something else, man. It really, I'm not gonna shit on them brothers like that. I don't brag on women from overseas like they're better than black women over here. I don't believe that shit. But I ain't finna say them brothers will co-sign on a damn pedophile either. Now, 1 or 2 of them, could actually say that they knew this guy was fucking with little boys. I actually agree with them in that regard. I believe 1 or 2 of them brothers knew some information about him fucking with little boys over there, and they say they tried to call the police, nothing happened. If I know you a child molesting little boys and I call the police and they don't do nothing, bitch, I'm calling the feds. I'm calling something. I'm doing something. I'm gonna make sure. Now, he's saying I would do something like, I'm like, okay, well, now you talking about you'll jump on the boy and whoop his ass. I mean, what if you can't? Like, that ain't always the way to go sometimes. Sometimes, yeah. Because the guy said, well, I would just beat him up. I'm like, well, that's you. You would have just beat him up. But what if you can't? You know what I'm saying? I don't know that. I've never seen him in person. I get the feeling he wouldn't whoop my ass. So now what you gonna do? Now, if you can't whoop my ass, what you gonna do now? That ain't so. Sometimes you gotta have other ways, other avenues to exact justice besides talking about you gonna beat somebody up, because that shit don't work for everybody. And on top of that, I think that if you're a man that got some shit to lose, you got some shit, do you want to get into that type of shit? Because if a motherfucker puts his hands on me, you're gonna have to finish it. That's how the shit works. Everybody ain't got that hood street mentality. I'm not a hood nigga. I have no shame in that. You put your hands on me, I'm gonna slap the shit out you. But I'm not finna be out here trying to get off into some street shit flippantly. I have a future. I have businesses. I have a son. I have shit to lose. I got shit I can really lose. So I'm not finna be out here on some fuckery. You know what I'm saying? Quickly jumping and grabbing on motherfuckers and doing dumb shit, picking up bricks and hit. If I hit your ass in the head, I'm kind of strong. If I hit your ass in the head with a brick, I might fuck around and kill you, crack your damn skull. Now I'm in prison. No, you don't do no. That's stupid man shit. Men think, guys. Men are like, one of my favorite movies, Carlito's Way. Carlito thought every move he made, he thought, he calculated. Should I do this? What if okay, so if I do this, if I do, that's how men think. You don't just grab a motherfucking, just get all wild and go at motherfucker. That's, I hate to say it, that's how thugs do. Thugs do that shit. And that's why they wind up where they at a lot of times. Fucked up, can't get a job. You can't raise kids. You barely can raise your kids because you're a felony. You're a felon, so you're going in and out of jail. Shit like that. You don't want that type of lifestyle. You don't put your hands on motherfuckers flippantly. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. If you want to be productive and be a producer and have a good life, you know what I'm saying? You want to come fuck with me? I try to help. I got a couple of people that I've trained that have had records and shit like that. But if you can avoid it, don't go get a record on some dumb shit. And a lot of us do have records on some shit that when we were teenagers. I'm not shitting on big brothers that have records, obviously. But telling me raping a white woman, that'll get a lot of results quick. It says when you got a lot of weight under your belt, you don't have the luxury of just getting into silly fist fights, too much to lose indeed. That's how I think. I ain't trying to be funny. I got a lot. I ain't saying a lot, but shit, I done worked hard, man. I got shit on building. Builders don't just flippantly grab motherfuckers. When was the last time you heard of Jeff Bezos choking the motherfucker? Huh? When was the last time Bill Gates choked somebody? You know what I'm saying? Slap somebody. When was the last time? The last person I seen that got money that they say put hands on a motherfucker was Diddy. He was the last, and look who we talking about. The motherfucker that, I can make a million videos about his crazy ass. And Diddy put his hands on another dude when his son wasn't playing football, and that shit cost him millions. That dude sued the shit out of Diddy ass. Then Diddy jumped in and he went. Diddy's the only dude I see, and Diddy will usually jump on you in front of a bunch of security guards when he got protection. I ain't saying Diddy is a 100% bitch, but I think if it was just him, he probably would operate a little different. You know what I'm saying? Me, it's just you. That when you hear all these women saying, black men don't protect us, you go out there and grab a woman. What did Boyce do now? Boyce we got another woman out here saying Boyce didn't pay her, man. We got another one. This is like the fifth, sixth time this dude said they saying he hasn't paid people. And his integrity is showing. And his character is showing. And his lack of integrity is showing. And you know what I'm saying? That's just how it works, man. I just think, man, when it comes down to it, we need to really have better integrity when it comes to business and how we treat and operate in this country, especially with one another. Boyce's reputation is shitty right now. You know what I'm saying? His federal lawsuits. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, guys. What we got here? Boyce channel is about gossip, not finance. I understand. Yeah, it is. It is. Boyce just made a video the other day saying, I'm gonna need the celebrities to stop coming out saying you tested positive for the. Like, look, I get it, but bro, we need you to talk about money, right? More so now than ever. You need to talk about that shit, and you need to explain. You need to do charts. You need to educate. Notice, I'm gonna be straight up with you. He talks this shit, but it's not like he really kind of gives you advice, financial advice on a major level like that, unless you pay him. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's not like he's just giving it out, which I don't knock him for that. I don't think he should, but Here you go, boo. Here you go, going down there getting all them cookies. Huh? This your last one. There you go. Go on in there. I'll be in there in a minute. We're gonna go play. So it is what it is, man. Yeah, his ex-girlfriend is suing him. That's another thing, man. He kept women that he fuck with, they sue him. That's like he's got 2 lawsuits. Because he got one chick that was on the show he was messing with. Now he got this lady here. Frances May Jones, she's suing him. So you got to be fair, man. I just don't see this shit really being fair. I see a lot of double standards in the black community when it comes to certain people. And we just don't have, when it comes to business, I think we lack character. I'm going to call it like I see it. You know, some shit you can know off the top. Some shit, I hate to say this shit, this is going to sound real fucked up. But it's the truth. I grew up, you know, we didn't have a lot of money, right? And a lot of people, y'all can follow me with this. We grew up, I ain't have a lot of money in my family, right? We didn't. My parents got divorced. Now, when we were young, my parents was, before they got divorced, I remember we had money like for days. We did. Dad had plenty of money. It wasn't, Dad used to, man, it was just times I remember playing in my dad's paycheck. Every Friday, he would come lay the $100 bills out on the bed, and I used to grab it and play with it as a kid. When I was like 4, literally, he would lay it out like a rainbow. And I would run in there and jump on the bed and jumping. You know, I used to jump on the bed. I'm too big for that shit now, but I used to jump on the bed and fall on it and laugh. And this was when I was a kid. So them days was over, man. You know, Dad he went through some tough times. I think we had a housing boom that happened. Well, housing right around the late 70s went down for a minute, around the early 80s when the economy went bad. And it was rough. You know, Dad had a few years up until like the mid 90s where he was just struggling. And, you know, my sister kicked in with us and helped, but I didn't have a lot of money, man. But I'm going to tell you something, man. My mom used to tell me not to steal, keep your word, you know, keep a clean house, make sure you smell good, make sure you know, you may not have nice clothes, but she used to take them to the laundry and starch our shit. And I got in a lot of fights in school because motherfuckers thought we was better than, that's what niggas used to literally tell us. You think you better than everybody. You think you this. And it used to be dumb shit. Because my mama kept my hair cut twice a week. As a kid, because she worked at the barbershop and she worked around, well, not barbershop, but the beauty shop. And back then, barbers and beauty shops, everybody kind of worked in there. So I'd get haircuts from this lady that knew my mom. They used to trade out and she would do her hair. And the lady would cut me twice a week. When she would pick me up after school and take me over there, I'd be sitting at the shop. And the lady would cut my hair. So I kept a nice haircut. I would wear my brother's cologne. He had iron cologne and chaps and stuff like that. So I used to wear that, you know. So it looked like I had money, but we didn't, you know. But I'm gonna tell you something that I did learn. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I remember there was certain times when we would see stuff in the street. Like I think we was riding down the street one time, and somebody had threw a bike away, and it was either getting thrown away or it was just sitting there in the middle of the street. And I said, I think it was my dad, actually. I said, Dad, let's pull over and get it. He said, that's somebody's bike, son. We're not going to steal. We don't do that. You know. Now, look, I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I'm not. But what I'm telling you is that taught me, okay, so I'm not supposed to just take people's shit like that just because it's laying around. Right? Now, the thing is, guys, and this is just true. We all know this. If you take some shit and lay it out in the black community, even though motherfuckers is poor, a lot of people will take your shit, man. That's just the bottom line. And the excuse that we make, well, people are poor. That they don't have no choice. Yes, you do have a choice. You do not have to steal from others. You do have to. You can have human decency. You don't have to steal. You don't have to be selfish. As long as your food, your clothes. I get if you starving and ain't got nothing. But a lot of people in the hood are fat and out of shape. So let's not act like we starving in the hood for real, okay? We're not. You got clothes, you got shoes, you got transportation, you got a lot of things that of necessity. But a lot of times what we do is we take from others. We got this crab in the barrel mentality where we'll step on one brother to try to get to a dime or a dollar. Meanwhile, hurting the next brother or sister in the process. And so what happens is it makes it difficult to come into the black community and do anything that's productive, like business. A lot of people, when they get out of the hood, don't want to come back to the hood. This is why you have the SYSBM movement. These brothers ain't just saying a bunch of dumb shit. They're not. These brothers are actually, preaching espousing some good reasons why they believe what they believe. It's not just a bunch of bullshit. I mean, MOT is a very highly intelligent brother. I disagree with it, the movement, but I respect his reasoning. I do. Because, it is what it is. I just think that, we have mentality. A lot of us we have low integrity. A lot of us do. And we need to fix that. Not fuck white people, okay? Don't be talking about Appalachia and the white people, the trailer park white people. They do the same. They just like us. We need to do better. We need better. And even when we have resources, a lot of times we still are selfish. Boyce Watkins is supposed to be worth $7 million. Why the fuck are you out here not paying people their money, man? That ain't got shit to do with it. Birdman is worth millions and millions. The lifestyle that Birdman is living, he could live that lifestyle and still be able, he can live that lifestyle and still be able to get out here and start doing, oh shit. I had a meeting at 1 o'clock. I just remembered. Damn. Oh, well, that's that. Oh, damn. Anyway, Birdman can live his life, be comfortable, do a lot of things, and still be, able to give Lil Wayne his money. That $50 million wouldn't hurt him. That dude sold 1 billion records. You could have gave Lil Wayne his money or settled with him. They went 8 years to where you owe this dude $50 million, and instead of you giving him the money, you literally was he on the stage performing. They say you was in the club throwing drinks at him while he performing. They say you had his bus shot up. You owe me $54 million and you gonna get my bus shot up? Niggas. The audacity of Niggadom. That's the greatest example of it that I can think of, is how he treated that guy. He was trying to kill the dude. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And so you're going to shoot this dude bus up and you owe him money? You owe this dude $54 million, which you in writing said. And then when it came time to pay him, you're like, man, you don't hell to get him $54 million, man. He on the Forbes list. That was your logic. That's your logic. Did you sign a contract? I don't give a fuck if he is on the Forbes list. The reason he ain't number one on the Forbes list because you shitting on it. Why don't you get that man this $54 million? This is how we treat people, man. This is how we treat one another. And we want to talk about, racism, white supremacy, this, that, man. Look, if we had good business practices, the few black people, usually this is what you hear. And this is what makes it rough, man. A lot of times, successful black people, a lot of times that have money, a lot of times where we mess up at is we'll say shit like, there you go, boo. A lot of times people that got money, what we'll say is, yeah, little boy can cut my grass. Go back, boo. So a lot of times when you have money, a lot of times what people will do is they'll mess around and say, well, look, man, this dude got money, but he's selfish. And you'll be like, man, maybe people just jealous. A lot of rich black folks will say that shit.
Daddy!
I see him. He finna cut the grass. They'll say something like that. A lot of rich people just jealous. They jealous because I got money.
Can you go down?
I will, boo. We'll go down. I'm gonna take you. We're gonna go pick his money up, okay? All right. So that's the thing, man. A lot of people are jealous of this dude and say a lot of underhanded shit to this guy about people. But a lot of times that shit is warranted. Because you got people that get money and they get there. A lot of times, black people, this is why we have these fucked up views of money, because we think everybody that had $2 got it by stepping on somebody's back. That's not always the case. But when you have cases like this with Boyce Watkins, where you worth $7 million, you didn't get here just because you shitted on people. I bet you ain't shit on that Asian. You paid the Asian guy his money, but you ain't paying the nigga his money. You ain't paying this. And it really what it sounds like they're saying he owes is just a few $1,000s. Man, you probably could settle this shit, settle out of court, give motherfuckers about $5,000, $6,000. This should be paid off. Everybody. and your name will be cleared up. That's worth more than you not giving them this damn money. Sometimes, man, it's best to give people their damn money, and that's that. Hold on one second. This little boy told us, but yeah, he finna walk off. Yeah, so anyway, let me go. I'm gonna go. This little boy finna cut my yard. I'm gonna go ahead and talk to him, man. Y'all have a good one.